Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be trying new dip powders from a company I've never tried before, and it is called MamaMakesHerOwnDips. The name is super cute, and here's what the packaging looks like. These are the sample size jars, so they're clear on the bottom so you can see what color you're going to be dipping into, and then the name and then the logo is super cute as well. We're going to create a set of press-ons on the shape short coffin, and then we're going to use dip liquids today. I figured for testing out these dip powders, it's only fair to see their true performance by using dip liquids. So we are using that today for the dip base, the activator, and then we are going to finish up this mani today with a gel top coat. All right, so we're diving into the first color here, and I will say these are really soft and buttery. So if you are not making press-ons and you're dipping into the jar, they're very soft in that perfect velvety feel. And right off the bat, the coverage is really good. It is just, there's no patchiness or streakiness or anything like that. It is covering the entire nail, and it's just like a beautiful icy shimmer, and that shimmer is super subtle and it's very pretty, and everything is laying super flat. So we're going to move on. We're going to do 2 coats today, 2 dips of this powder, and we're going to use it on 2 different nails as well. So I'm just doing a very thin layer of dip base on the entire nail, and then I am dipping into the cupcake liner. You could also do the pour over method. Now again, these are sample size jars, and you can get them in larger sizes as well. You can get the colors that we're working with today as a trio. It's the Mother's Day trio, or you can get them individually. So right here, my camera's having like the hardest time focusing here, but we are just dusting off here and we're gonna move right along. So here's that first coat. It is giving me like these really pretty icy blue vibes. I do think it's this color right here alone with 1 coat, since it is very full coverage, it has like the slight like iciness to it. I feel like that's really pretty by itself as well. So if you're not looking to build structure and you just want like the perfect light icy blue with like still like that sea glass kind of finish, because that's what it's kind of pulling through right now with that first coat, this is definitely going to be a great powder because it is that full coverage. And I really like this color in general because a lot of times when you're working with light blues, they can look a little chalky and streaky, and I'm not having any issues with that, even though my camera right now is struggling to focus on these beautiful powders. But that's going to clear up here in just a moment. So I'm just pressing everything down and making sure everything's laying super flat. You can see that color payoff. It's definitely pulling in more of that light blue with that second coat here, but we're going to build it up today with 2 coats. If you wanted to, you definitely could do 3. Again, options are endless when you're doing your nails at home. I will be honest, I have been sitting on these powders for quite a while. One of my nail friends, Michelle, she sent these to me to try, and when I saw these colors, I knew I wanted to incorporate them for spring. And then I was like, okay, Mother's Day trio, I guess we'll just wait a little bit to kind of pull them in as a spring mani. And then these are really fun colors for Mother's Day. It's kind of a twist. I really like how it has more neutral colors pulled in with the solids. And then it's not so girly because I'm a boy mom. I have 2 boys. I have my youngest is 1. His name is Kylo, and then I have a 2-year-old named Leo. So I have 2 boys, and I really like this trio because I feel like it's kind of gravitating towards the boy moms out there, and I'm loving it. So here's the next color, and the play of the names are so cute too, but this color speaks to me. It is soft, it's giving me peach blossoms, and it's still carrying that really beautiful sparkle. I will say the sparkle in these first 2 colors that we're playing with are not disappointing, and I love a good sparkle. Plus, when you have not just like a pure solid powder, if you have like a slight shimmer or like one like we're working with right now that has like this beautiful fine shimmer to it, it's gonna help cover any imperfections in your nails as well, and it's gonna help give you more of that flawless finish. But I am loving this color. I gravitate towards colors like this, so to me this color kind of just like sealed in the deal for me. I feel like this would be a great all over mani as well. You could also use this as a background and then incorporate some like bright pops of color for like some fun flower nail art. So you can see here we definitely are building up this color here, and it is getting even better with that 2 dips here. But overall, such a beautiful powder. So we're going to go ahead and dust off. And for dip liquids today, I'm using the Sundara dip liquids. They are not a stronger scent. A lot of times when you're working with dip liquids, they can be very overpowering and have a very strong scent. They're not low odor, but they do have a lower scent. So if you are in the market for liquids that are not like overbearing and super strong, these are definitely a great liquid. All right, so now we are done with this color right here. We're just going to press everything down, making sure everything is laying super flat before we dive into the most like best glitter ever. It is everything. So this one right here, this glitter, oh, we need to definitely dive into this and get a closer look. Check it out. It is pulling in so many beautiful colors of blues and dusty roses and greens and pinks. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers had an explosion, and this is what we're going to be working with. It is stunning. By far, I cannot wait to dive into this glitter. You're going to be able to pair this glitter with so many different things. You're going to be able to do I feel like white would be awesome with this, but I mean, that's like a given, right? But even like a navy blue or beautiful pink, greens, you're going to be able to do so much. And if you do look at it as well, I know I said it's like kind of like a flower explosion. It's also giving me kind of like fiesta vibes as well. So I feel like you're going to be able to definitely take this glitter into the summer season as well. So now what I'm doing is I am just gently pressing everything down, making sure all these glitters are laying super flat. I am using a precision tool today, and I'm really making sure I am getting any glitters that are underneath that press on or on the sidewalls. I'm removing those completely because I want to make sure that we have a really seamless filing and buffing experience when it gets to that time. Plus, I want to make sure I'm removing any of those little sparkles away from underneath the nail. So that way then we have a clean surface from when we are transitioning the press-on nail to the natural nail, that we don't have any of those glitters under there. So we get a really good flat adhesion. If you have any glitters under there when you are applying your press-on, you're not going to get a good adhesion, and then you could experience lifting. So just keep that in mind. The cleaner you can get the underside of that nail, and you can definitely clean that up during filing and buffing. You don't have to get like as excessive as I am right now when I am cleaning up underneath that nail with that precision tool. You definitely can tackle that area during filing and buffing as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and press down all these beautiful glitters. I will say I do spend a little bit of time making sure everything is laying super, super flat. The flatter I can get these glitters and the less filing and buffing I need to do, the better. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to do another full layer of dip base to the entire nail, and then I'm going to hand place some of the larger glitters, and then we're going to tap on some of the finer glitters. Now I like doing this when I want to try and reduce any bulk on the nail, but I will say I feel like I could have easily gotten away with a third dip with these glitters. They are very thin. So now I'm just taking a little ombre brush and I am picking up larger and smaller glitters here just to help absorb any extra of that dip base here. And then it's just going to give us a little bit of dimension because we are going to get some of those smaller glitters on top of the larger glitters. And then for extra precaution to make sure all that dip base was absorbed, I did go back in and dip directly into that cupcake liner. And I will say I did notice, so the larger glitters are beautiful colors of like corals and pinks and teals and blues and greens. And I really like how there are smaller pieces of glitter in those exact same colors. So not only do you get a lot of dimension with the different shapes of glitter, because there's fine glitters in here, there's smaller, there's chunky, but I really like the incorporation of the larger glitters and the smaller glitters having the same color scheme, because a lot of times the bigger glitters are your like color pieces, and then you're kind of like focused on covering your nail and getting the best color throughout the nail only with those bigger pieces. But I really like how the smaller glitters are incorporated in those colors, if that makes sense. All right, so that's all we're doing for that glitter nail. But now I wanted to add, because this glitter right here, this for me, this glitter is everything. And I was like, we need to add more glitter to this mani. Totally optional. You could totally keep the mani as is, or you can do what we're doing right now. So we're taking a precision tool with that dip base, and we're just going to focus on picking up the different blue colors that are in this glitter mix. And I'm just focusing on the bigger glitters, and then I'm going to work my way through the different sizes here just to kind of create a fun design. And I really like the simplicity behind it. You don't need to do like a whole bunch of glitter to incorporate glitter. You can just hand place a few pieces to really make your mani or the nail set that you're creating your own. And these colors right here are so pretty, and I feel like with this like icy blue background that we're working with, it just really gives the nail a lot of depth. and it's just like a really fun twist to play with these glitters. And if you want to go crazy and add more glitter than what we're doing today, you definitely can. I mean, I kind of had to hold myself back by adding more glitter, but I really wanted to keep it very simple with the glitter because I didn't want it to take away from the beautiful base color that we just spent that time on. I really just wanted to showcase these colors and different ways you could play with this glitter, but that's what we're working with, and we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're just going to finish placing some glitter on the other nails just to tie it in. I originally was not going to do any more glitter, but then I kind of had a little bit too much fun hand placing the glitter. I will say hand placing glitter is really fun. It is something you want to do when you know you have time. If you have only 30 minutes to get your mani done, then maybe that's not something you want to dabble in, because hand placing glitter can take a little bit of time, but it is also really fun and I definitely recommend it. All right, so we're moving on to the other nail here, and now we're picking up some of those dusty rose colors and that copper pink color. Oh, it's so pretty. So we're just picking up those colors, and then we're going to work with some smaller pinks. So that is all we're doing today. And again, like I said, you don't necessarily have to add all that glitter, but it is really fun, and I really like the pop of dimension that we're getting with the coinciding glitter colors with that dip base. And the precision tool that I'm using today and everything else can be found in that description box below. So we finished placing the rest of the glitter, and I will say this mani is kind of giving me Bluey vibes. I don't know if that's just my mom brain, but it's definitely pulling in Bluey the cartoon vibes with that blue is giving me Bluey, and then that beautiful just peachy color is kind of giving me Bingo vibes. And then we added those glitters, so that's where my mind went after I saw this mani with the glitters placed. I'm like, okay, we got a little bluey going on here. All right, so now we're clear encapsulating. I did a layer of dip base on the nail, and then I just went ahead and let that glitter nail kind of just marinate in that clear powder to just really absorb into all that beautiful glitter. And I'm gonna go ahead and dip it back into the clear just to make sure we are absorbing all those dip liquids, because I do not want to risk cutting into all this beautiful color here. This nail right here is definitely my favorite. I feel like if you did a mani with corals, this glitter would look fabulous for the summer with some bright pops of coral. So now that we're done encapsulating, I did the rest of the nails off camera. I'm using a stiff brush before we go in with the activator on all the nails just to really give it a good scrub. And this will also prevent any cloudiness when you do go in with your activator, because if you have any clear that is lingering and then you go in with your activator, you're gonna get a really cloudy kind of background, and then your colors and your glitters are not gonna be as true of color. You're gonna have a haze or cloudiness over it. And I will say the activation process is one of my favorite things when I'm using dip liquids. I love seeing the powders just all kind of melt down and become one, and you can just really see the vibrancy of color. So I waited about 2 minutes here, and now I'm going to go in with filing and buffing. I'm just going to show you the filing and buffing on one nail here, but I will say filing and buffing was pretty easy. They are very finely milled when it comes to the dip powders, and the glitters were very thinly cut. So overall, I did not have any issues when it came to filing and buffing. It was just your pretty standard buffing and filing experience. And I did go ahead and file and buff the rest of the nails off camera just to save some time. But I love this buffer that I'm using right here. It gives me more control when I'm filing and buffing because it's the same size as a file. All right, so the rest of the filing and buffing was done off camera. Now what I'm going to do, even though I am going in with a gel top coat, I am still going to go ahead and activate. What that's going to do, it's going to go ahead and seal in any of the powders that we may have disturbed during filing and buffing, and it's also going to get rid of any harsh filing or buffing lines. So this is the gel top coat that I'm going in with. It is a 2-in-1, so it is an anti-chip, anti-flake. It's also HEMA free, so you do not have to do a gel base. You can go right in with this. Cure for 60 seconds. I did the rest of the nails off camera, and then here's the finished mani. I'm totally loving this play of colors. We have a little bit of cooler tone colors mixed in with some warm. I love it so much. It's a very subtle shimmer, and then we have that little placement of glitter here just to tie in a little extra sparkle. And that glitter, it is everything. I said in the beginning, it looked like a bouquet of flowers that exploded, and then those are the colors that we're working with. And it's still giving me that feeling, and I just really enjoyed working with these colors. They're very buttery. I was very impressed by the coverage, especially with that first dip. I was not expecting that at all. I'm actually a little disappointed that I did not play with these sooner, but when I saw the color palette and then I was looking into the colors on the website and noticed it was kind of like a Mother's Day thing, I was like, okay, fine, we'll wait to play with these a little later. But I'm so glad I tried them, and thank you, Michelle, for sending them to me. They are fantastic. So I really hope you enjoyed today's mani, and if these colors are not your cup of tea, head over to Mama Makes Her Own Dips. You're definitely going to find something that catches your eye. There are beautiful glitters, there's foils, there's shimmers, there's solids. There's going to be something that you definitely gravitate towards. So don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one.